and of communicating through a pen and a paper is to express an idea, right? That's it. So if I can express an idea without spelling a word wrong, quicker, faster, and more efficiently with a higher chance of you understanding that, isn't that the purpose?
Okay, I'm gonna debate a little bit with you here because I don't disagree with what you just said, but I want to interject another thought here. The other thought is that when you do have to think, you are exercising your brain in the same way that simply jogging around the track exercises your body.
Yeah.
I do think when it's all done for you, you're right. It's quicker, it's more efficient, etc. But if the whole purpose of being in school is to develop your brain, I know it's not a muscle, but we'll call it your brain muscle. Mm-hmm. I think there's something to be said about that.
Let me ask you this: do you believe that there's a difference in the way when you're writing? Do you believe that your brain works differently if you're physically putting a pen to paper or typing into a keyboard?
No.
Right. So there you go.
Yeah, but it's about the words, though. I mean, you have to know the context. You have to know to spell them, like there and there, two and two. There's all the different, words that sound the same but are spelled differently and mean differently. You have to know those words. So you shouldn't depend on a machine to choose a word for you. You need to look it up in the dictionary and learn how to spell it your own self.
No, and I don't think what's the difference of if I physically grab a dictionary, troll through it to figure it out, or I use a dictionary on a computer? I don't think anybody's debating that, yes, you have to have the ability to discern between there and there. And let's be honest, we've been screwing that up for 100 years.
Well, let me ask you this, and
we've been screwing up it for 100 years.
Right. But here's a question. This is really a question. I don't know. In the test part of the education, are the kids absent of those devices? In other words, do they have, like, if the test is given on an electronic device, and they have to write an essay, for example, on their computer, does the computer do some of the correcting for them? The teacher wouldn't be able to, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that's a good thought.
Now it's important that they still have spelling tests, right? I mean that hasn't changed at all.
Okay, so you wouldn't take a spelling test on a computer that would correct it for you.
Yeah.
No. You still have spelling tests, and when they turn in the reports and it's an electronic thing and they email it to their teacher, they still check for punctuality, right? They still check for,
you mean punctuation?
For spelling. Punctuation. Yeah, punctuality. Oh, it's got to be on time.
Well, it's got to be on time. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but they still check for punctuation and they still check for spelling.
Right.
So all we're doing, it's a tool, and let's be honest, paper is expensive, right? Schools papers are extremely expensive when you're paying, $2 for 300 sheets. I mean, that gets expensive really quickly. So, why not do it all electronically? There, it saves forever.
You just reminded me of something. This goes back to my junior high school, and if you just let me indulge in just for a second, I remember going to a human biology class and learning about the human body, and then going to, I guess it was a grammar class, and the teacher said, "Where's your colon?" It's like, what? Why are you asking me that?
Yeah.
Sorry, I just remember that.
That's pretty funny.
Oh, boy.
That's usable stuff.
Yeah.
But no, I think the children have to learn to manipulate in their mind and know that before they can allow a computer to.
Do you know another thing that doesn't happen anymore, I bet you? Because the kids don't have to get up and go to the blackboard anymore. Mm-hmm. So, Galen.
Yes, they do.
They do? They still have to go up there?
They go to the smartboard. Yeah, they go to the smart board.
They have to actually walk up
they
there.
do it right there at their desk. Yeah,
Okay, at the desk.
I haven't been in every classroom.
But what?
I haven't been in every classroom. I know my son has to go to the smart board in math class.
Okay, well, good.
He's talked about that.
Well, so that means that awkward moment when you're thinking about Susie sitting next to you, and all of a sudden the teacher asks you to come to the front.
I knew you were going there.
Yeah.
I knew you were going there.
All of a sudden, I mean, that's got to be an experience that we've all had. At least our half of the population. All right, Rob,
Yep.
we need a segue from.
Not sure what I'm supposed to comment on that.
The difference is
Joe, that's all I'm going to say is
the school of yesterday compared to today. Robin, we need a segue. I know it's very close.
Oh, okay. Well, thank goodness that Life South Community Blood Centers does not have the technology where you can draw your own blood. You need to go to the centers, have human contact, and they'll be sure to do the right thing.
Self-checkout at Life South.
Yeah.
All right, Galen, where's the Bloodmobile today?
Bloodmobile is at two places. We're actually out in McIntosh today with the Lions Club, and then we're also at Planet Fitness.
Oh, nice.
All right.
We're excited.
Galen, have a great day. I hope the kids have a great first day of school. They still take the bus, so they don't drive themselves yet, right?
No. They don't take. I drop them off, and my wife drops one off.
All right.
So, yeah.
Thank you, Galen. Have a great day.
All right, you guys are the best.
All right,
Thanks,
bye.
y'all.
Police using tear gas to clear protesters with incidents of vandalism and looting more than a week after the fatal shooting of an unarmed teenager by a police officer. State Patrol Captain Ron Johnson.
A Sunday that started with prayers and messages of unity, peace, and justice took a very different turn after dark.
Governor Jay Nixon sending in the National Guard for more security. Iraqi forces have retaken a dam from the militants.
The strategic Mosul Dam was captured by Islamic militants less than 2 weeks ago. It supplies electricity and water to a large part of the country.
Fox Radio's Emily Wither. Texas Governor Rick Perry calls an indictment alleging he abused his office politically motivated. Perry's moving ahead with plans to visit primary states as a possible presidential candidate. Fox News. We report, you decide.
There's more to Fox News Radio than meets the ear. Go behind the headlines and join the conversation on the hottest stories of the day on the Fox News Radio Facebook page. Be a part of the Fox News Radio Facebook fan community. Post comments and tell us your opinions. See behind-the-scenes photos and videos and post your reactions to the stories that matter to you. Click the like button on Facebook and connect with breaking news and features like Fox in the Fast Lane, House Call for Help, and more. Go to facebook.com/Fox News Radio.
Weeknights, we're busting out a brand new lineup. First, market fraud, government abuse, corruption. At 5, nothing's off limits on money with Melissa Francis. Then, from bloated bank fees to consumer scams. At 6, Jerry's exposing the issues impacting your wallet. Plus, get smart market insight and trusted analysis you won't find anywhere else. At 7, Lou Dobbs is all business. And the first and last name in business, Cavuto, shedding light on the biggest stories making headlines at 8. Only on the Fox Business.
Yeehaw! Howdy, folks. RL here to invite you to DQ. Dairy Queen is serving the crispiest, juiciest, most tasty chicken tenders, all beef chili dogs, and quarter-pound cheeseburgers on earth. And you get crispy fries, a drink, and an ice cream sundae of your choice for only $5. Remember, at DQ, you can lick their cones, but you can't beat their shakes. Dairy Queen, Silver Springs, where they always treat you like kings and queens.
Hey, it's Christy with Ocala Mac and PC Repair and Ocala Guest Wi-Fi to let you know we have you covered. We are the only local certified Apple and Microsoft computer company in Ocala. We are family owned and operated. From mobile repair to wireless networks, viruses, new systems, or security cameras, we do it all. Check us out online, ocalamacpc.com, or give us a call, 352-566-8324.
Tell them Nick, Madison, or Mason sent you and get free diagnostic.
Get your internet telephone service from the company that brought affordable internet service to Ocala in the first place. All is Safe is a sister company of Ocala Guest Wi-Fi, a company you've known and trusted for all your internet needs. Whether you need a phone or hundreds, we've got the products and services to meet your needs both now and in the future. Our plans include everything from local and long-distance calling to equipment maintenance and even software upgrades. You can count on All is Safe to give you cost certainty knowing that your bill will be the same next week, next month, or even next year. Call 352-450-8647 today to learn how to cut your monthly telephone bill up to 60%.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new truck.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
Habitat for Humanity of Marion County is a ministry dedicated to improving lives by providing affordable and decent housing. Help them help others by visiting the Habitat for Humanity Ocala Restore at 926 Northwest 27th Avenue. To schedule a donation, give us a call at 401-0075 and we'll come pick it up. For more information, visit ocalarestore.org. Habitat for Humanity of Marion County. Building homes, building hope, building community.
Hi, I'm Leah Caruso with Strive Rehabilitation, inviting you to join me Thursday at 11 a.m. for Health Matters. Ocala Health and Strive have teamed up to bring you the latest information on good health services available to you right here at home. This vital information will help you make informed decisions about your health. So don't forget to join me here at 11 a.m. Thursday. It's news you can use from Ocala Health, Strive, and your friends here at WOCA.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala!
Come on.
All right, 25 minutes before 9 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in this Monday morning. It's time to hear the news. We take the news during this segment and we shorten it. That's why we call the segment News Bites. It gives us a chance to get as much news out there as possible. Putting the news back in News Talk, it gives you a chance to catch up on that news without spending all day doing so. After all, you do have your own life to live, your own news happening in your own world, and that's pretty important stuff, too. It's just we don't all hear about each other's. So some big stories. First one, let's see, where would I start here? This is from the New York Times. Senior White House aides have made repeated urgent phone calls to Governor Jay Nixon of Missouri, to state police officials, and to civil rights leaders in recent days as President Obama's administration becomes more deeply involved in trying to maintain peace in Ferguson, Missouri, and to ensure an independent investigation of the fatal shooting of an unarmed African-American teenager by a white police officer. White House officials also said Attorney General Eric Holder, who is the administration's most outspoken voice on racial issues, had been in frequent touch with the governor and state highway patrol in Missouri as angry protests continued to simmer there. Mr. Holder is scheduled to provide a formal briefing to the president in Washington today. Both men were returning yesterday from Martha's Vineyard, where they had been vacationing for the past week. Mr. Holder announced yesterday that a federal medical examiner would conduct an independent autopsy of Michael Brown, the 18-year-old who was shot August 9th in Ferguson by Officer Darren Wilson. Officials said the decision was the result of extraordinary circumstances in the case and was part of a civil rights investigation the FBI is conducting.
The latest round of U.S. airstrikes in Iraq against the Islamic State extremist group includes the first reported use of land-based bombers in the military campaign. U.S. Central Command says a combination of bombers, fighter jets, attack planes, and unmanned drones hit targets near Iraq's largest dam in Mosul. That's a wider array than in previous rounds of airstrikes. Kurdish security officials say Kurdish forces have taken over parts of the dam, aided by U.S. and Iraqi airstrikes. It was less than 2 weeks ago that militants had captured the dam. The U.S. military says U.S. forces conducted 14 airstrikes yesterday after 9 strikes on Saturday, reported by the Las Vegas Sun.
And from ABC News, U.S. warplanes continued to launch the airstrikes near Mosul Dam in support of Kurdish and Iraqi ground operation to retake Iraq's largest dam from the control of hundreds of ISIS fighters. Seizing back the dam has been a concern for Iraq and the United States because a breach could release a torrent of water that could flood Mosul and possibly reach as far downstream as Baghdad. A mix of fighters, bombers, and Predator drones conducted 14 airstrikes near the dam that targeted ISIS vehicles and positions. On Saturday, the U.S. Central Command had launched 9 airstrikes on the first day of the operation.
The man, described as a person of interest in connection with nearly a dozen arson fires in Central Florida, was arrested Saturday following a brief standoff in Volusia County. Police talked Stephen Engel from jumping off the second story of the Maui Nick Surf Shop in Daytona Beach. Engel was taken into custody. He was charged with resisting an officer without violence, disorderly conduct, and fugitive fleeing from justice. Yesterday, a judge ordered him held without bond, pending his extradition to Georgia, where he is accused of violating probation. An extradition hearing was expected within 24 to 48 hours. Investigators say that so far, Engel has not been cooperative in answering their questions about the recent fires in and around Sanford, Florida. Engel's half-brother was arrested following one of the fires. Curtis Smith is charged with attempted murder and first-degree arson, reported by the Florida News Network.
And from CNN, a powerful earthquake struck early this morning in western Iran, injuring at least 250 people in a region near the border with Iraq. Local authorities said they fear the quake may have caused widespread destruction in rural areas. The 6.2 magnitude earthquake hit at a depth of around 10 kilometers or 6 miles in an area 36 kilometers southeast of the Iranian city of Abdanan. The U.S. Geological Survey said it was followed by a series of aftershocks. The quake injured at least 250 people in the province of Ilam. Iran's official news agency IRNA reported, citing local disaster management authorities.
Some Wall Street banks are drawing up preliminary plans that include moving some of their London-based operations to Ireland to deal with the possible scenario of Britain leaving the European Union. This is according to a Financial Times report yesterday, citing people familiar with the situation. Citigroup, Morgan Stanley, and Bank of America are considering Ireland as an alternative location for some of their European activities if they need to move them out of the UK. The Financial Times is reporting that the plans were at a very early stage. Representatives of the 3 banks could not immediately be reached for comment outside regular working hours, reported by Reuters.
And from the New York Times, a bidding war is poised to erupt in the dollar discount market. Dollar General said this morning that it was offering $8.9 billion to buy Family Dollar stores in an effort to break up its planned merger with Dollar Tree. Under the terms of the offer, Dollar General would pay $78.50 a share in cash. That is significantly more than the $74.50 a share than Dollar Tree's original cash and stock bid was worth when it was announced last month. Including debt, Dollar General's offer is valued at $9.7 billion. The company is also willing to pay the $305 million breakup fee that would be owed to Dollar Tree if that deal were broken off. The emergence of the unsolicited takeover bid promises a potential clash over the fate of Family Dollar, which has been under pressure from activist investors both outside and inside the boardroom.
A federal court has dismissed a Guantanamo Bay detainee's recent petition for release when the United States ends its war in Afghanistan. But the case continues to highlight the fast-approaching situation in which the last American troops will leave the Middle East country, and the United States must decide on the future of the facility's remaining detainees. Detainee and suspected Taliban affiliate Fawzi al-Oda made his request based on the argument that the United States cannot hold detainees after ending military hostilities in the so-called War of Terror, and President Obama's statement earlier this year that the Afghan war is ending, reported by Fox News.
And from TV 20 in Gainesville, officials with the NAACP are now calling for a repeal of the controversial saggy pants ordinance here in Ocala. Tomorrow, the Marion County branch of the NAACP will ask Ocala Mayor Kent Gwynn and 5 other city council members to repeal the law at the council meeting or face a legal battle with the NAACP. The organization claims the law focuses on racial profiling of citizens on city property. The NAACP will hold a community forum about this law after the council meeting at 7 p.m. tomorrow evening at the United Theological Seminary here in Ocala.
Ecuador's foreign minister has accused the British government of having no real interest in finding a diplomatic solution to the confinement of Julian Assange, the WikiLeaks founder who has spent more than 2 years in the country's embassy in London. Ricardo Patino told The Guardian that he believed the UK was violating Assange's human rights by refusing to allow him to leave the building without fear of arrest. I do not think there is a will in Britain to find a solution, Patino said, acknowledging that without a political or legal breakthrough, Assange could spend years living in a handful of tiny rooms at the country's small West London embassy, reported by The Guardian.
And from the Science Recorder, according to a report from the University of Chicago, a team of researchers has developed a technique to record the quantum mechanical behavior of an individual electron contained within a nanoscale blemish in diamond. Their procedure uses ultrafast pulses of laser light to control the defect's entire quantum state and to observe how the single electron state charges over time.
Wow.
So for my head.
Cool story.
We need to take a little break and we'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. It'll be partly sunny today with a thunderstorm in spots this afternoon and this evening. The high today 90 to 94. And partly cloudy overnight, though 73 to 77. Tomorrow mostly sunny and hot with a high of 92 to 96. On Wednesday, times of clouds and sun with a chance of a thunderstorm near the coast. The high on Wednesday 92 to 96. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Coast to Coast Fencing Incorporated in Ocala salutes the men and women of our armed forces. Let's remember them by continuing to donate blood for our returning injured military. Be a silent hero and give blood today. This reminder is from Coast to Coast Fencing Incorporated in Ocala, disabled veteran owned and operated for 35 years. For all of your aluminum, vinyl, wood, chain link, and farm fencing done right the first time, or for an estimate, call Chad and the staff at 427-6132.
Let's face it, nowadays it can be hard to find American-made products, and that's something that Cabinet Sales of North Florida is well aware of. That's why they're an authorized dealer of Wellborn Cabinetry, family-owned and American-made since 1961. Cabinet Sales of North Florida is your answer for complete turnkey kitchen remodels and whole house cabinetry. Their cabinets are finished with solvent-based enamels for a long-lasting finish that's second to none. Available in an incredible selection of door styles and colors to choose from to turn your dream kitchen into a reality. In-house design and drawing services are available. Come by and see our displays for yourself at the Floors of the Villages, 3935 County Road 216 in Oxford, or Exquisite Design Kitchen and Bath in Bellevue, right across the street from the Bellevue Library. So whether you're looking for bookcases, kitchen, bath, or outdoor kitchen, Cabinet Sales of North Florida is your one-stop source of quality cabinets. For a free estimate, call 352-427-2647. That's 352-427-2647. Cabinet Sales of North Florida.
Leadership, experience, and proven results matter.
Re-elect Angie Boynton to the Marion County School Board District 4. I have put forth solutions to raise funds for our schools through other avenues. I advocate for the use of juvenile civil citations in lieu of arrest for first-time offenders of some student code of conduct policies. I support the positive alternative to out-of-school suspension. Teachers have their union, but students, parents, and the community need a voice. I will be that voice for you. Remember, vote Angie Boynton for the Marion County School Board District 4.
Paid political advertisement by the Angie Boynton campaign.
Men, do you know your testosterone level? Are you experiencing decreased energy levels or unusual sleeping problems? Have you noticed you have less strength or endurance, decreased sex drive, increased irritability or depression? If so, you may be experiencing problems with low testosterone. If you're interested in a free testosterone screening, please call Renstar Medical Research at 352-629-5800. Again, that number is 352-629-5800.
All right, 12 minutes before 9 o'clock. Nice looking Monday morning. Thank you for listening. Let's continue with the news. The next news might be of interest to you if you are a young lady who can sing and dance and would like to be on Broadway. Have you heard of this?
No.
The Associated Press is where I'm getting this story from. The musical about Gloria Estefan and her husband Emilio is going to Broadway, and you could earn a part in it, even playing the part of Gloria Estefan. Producers of the show, that is titled On Your Feet, said this morning that they will offer performers around the world a chance to audition for all of the roles in the Broadway-bound cast by submitting audition videos online. There also will be 2 open casting calls at Pearl Studios in New York City on September 9th and at the Adrienne Arsht Center for the Performing Arts in Miami on September 21st.
Wow.
The musical is due to begin previews in New York at the Marquis Theater on October of 2015. After a summer stop in Chicago, Jerry Mitchell, who directed Kinky Boots, will helm the show with Sergio Trujillo choreographing. Gloria Estefan has won 7 Grammy Awards and sold over 100 million albums, while her husband has guided artists including Shakira, Ricky Martin, Jennifer Lopez, Mark Anthony, and John Cicada. I don't have the information you'll need to submit a video for this. I will look it up and let you know, but I'm sure you could look it up as well. But if you want to wait for me to look it up, give me a day and I'll have it tomorrow.
A crackdown on drunk driving is underway in Florida. The Florida Highway Patrol is joining with law enforcement and highway safety agencies across the country in the campaign Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over. The effort to remove as many impaired drivers from the roadways as possible began this Saturday, and it continues until Labor Day on September the 1st. During the 4-day Labor Day holiday weekend, all Highway Patrol personnel, including those usually assigned to administrative duties, will be patrolling interstates and state roads. All FHP personnel, including those normally assigned to administrative duties and auxiliary troopers, will also be patrolling. If you see an impaired driver or if you need roadside assistance, you can dial *347 from your cell phone to call FHP, reported by the Florida News Network.
And just to prove how swiftly I move, Robin, while you were reading, I looked up to find out how to audition for this. I have the website. It is onyourfeetmusical.com. That's the website if you want to submit an audition tape to be in the show, the Broadway show, the story of Emilio and Gloria Estefan. All the information is on that website, onyourfeetmusical.com. Robin will put it on Facebook, and you can tell your friends. Go to Facebook. Go to the WOCA Facebook page.
There you go.
All right. The next story is from the Washington Times. Texas Governor Rick Perry said yesterday that his indictment on abuse of power and coercion charges is just the latest example of out-of-control government at all levels, comparing the case with the Obama administration's failure to secure the U.S. border and the IRS's targeting of conservative groups. He appeared on Fox News Sunday yesterday. The governor, a Republican eyeing a second run for president in 2016, said the people of his state and all across the nation desperately want government officials to return to doing their jobs, enforcing the law, and not overstepping their boundaries.
SeaWorld still smarting from public backlash over controversies surrounding its live animal shows, and the documentary Blackfish unveiled what executives called a bold and visionary proposal for the parks on Friday, and executives may not have been using hyperbole. The long-reaching and detailed program is called the Blue World Project, and it begins with the radical expansion of the killer whale habitats in all SeaWorld parks, starting with San Diego, California, moving into Orlando, Florida, and San Antonio, Texas. The new killer whale homes and related research initiatives are aimed toward advancing global understanding of these animals, as well as educating and inspiring conservation efforts that are focused on protecting killer whales in the wild. The first of these environments to be built at SeaWorld San Diego is planned to have a water volume of 10 million gallons, nearly double that of the existing facility. With a maximum depth of 50 feet and a surface area of nearly 1.5 acres, spanning more than 350 feet in length, SeaWorld says there will be no other realm like this in the world. The new environment will also have views exceeding 40 feet in height, providing guests with the world's largest underwater killer whale viewing experience. experience. SeaWorld says the enlarged environment will provide killer whales with even more dynamic opportunities. It will support the whales' broad range of behaviors. It will provide choices that can challenge them both physically and mentally. Among other things, it is planned to include a fast water current that allows whales to swim against moving water, thus functionally increasing speed and diversity, reported by the Florida News Network.
And from MSNBC, private space companies are chomping at the bit for a new race to the stars. Now all they need is the money. NASA is preparing to make a decision in the coming weeks that will dole out billions of dollars toward the goal of sending American astronauts into orbit on U.S.-built spaceships for the first time since the space shuttle fleet was retired in 2011. Chris Ferguson, who was the commander for the final U.S. shuttle flight, can hardly wait. He said, quote, "The average American thinks the space program is over." The former astronaut was on NBC News when he made that statement. He added, "It is not over."
Recording artist Emblem 3 just posted their video of the ALS, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease, Ice Bucket Challenge, and they did it totally naked. The guys, brothers Keaton and Wesley Stromberg, posted the video on Instagram, but unfortunately it got deleted by the social networking site. This is a quote from them. They tweeted this: "Sorry, Instagram deleted our naked pound ice bucket challenge. We'll be posting it on YouTube later. Love you guys." The guys challenged Oprah Winfrey, 5 Seconds of Summer, and Demi Lovato. We guess the guys did not see that Oprah already completed the challenge. To protect their modesty, the boys cupped their hands over their own modesty, reported by MTV.
From CNN, Malaysian police are still searching for a Pakistani national over the alleged theft of money from bank accounts belonging to 4 people aboard missing Malaysia Airlines Flight 370, according to Malaysian investigators. A quote from Assistant Commissioner Azani Abdul Ghani of the Kuala Lumpur Commercial of Crime Investigation Department says, quote, "We are still trying to locate this Ali Farron, who last worked as a car mechanic," unquote. Authorities have arrested 2 people in relation to the alleged theft, an HSBC bank officer and her husband. The bank officer is accused of using internet banking to transfer money from 4 passengers' bank accounts into another passenger's account. About $10,000 was then allegedly transferred to a 5th account belonging to Farron. In total, about $35,000 was reported missing from the accounts of 2 Chinese passengers, Zhu Kun and Tian Junwei, and 2 Malaysians, Hu Pui Hang and flight attendant Tan Sees Hian.
Russian stocks fell in the United States while the biggest exchange-traded fund tracking the country's companies paired a weekly gain amid renewed concern that the conflict with neighboring Ukraine is escalating. The Bloomberg Russia-U.S. Equity Index of the country's most traded shares in New York slumped 0.1% to 85.15 on August the 15th. The market vector's Russia ETF dropped 0.9% to $24.41, erasing a gain of as much as 1.2% after Ukraine said its troops attacked and partially destroyed a column of armed vehicles that had crossed the border from Russian territory, reported by Bloomberg.
And from the Bleacher Report, golf is a game of sportsmanship and honor, and Cameron Tringale exemplified that after calling the PGA Tour office and requesting to be disqualified from the 2014 PGA Championship due to a previously undetected incorrect scorecard. Tringale, who is 26 years old, claims to have missed a stroke when attempting to tap in on the 11th hole on Sunday, per a Eurosport report. Despite uncertainty about the stroke, Tringale himself claims to be unsure about whether he actually addressed the ball, which would decide if it warranted the penalty. The Mission Viejo, California native claims to have been guilt-ridden over the past week.
During the first 3 years of the Rick Scott administration, Florida's unemployment rate tumbled from 11% to just over 6%, but it hit a plateau in January and has been stuck there ever since. Jesse Panuccio at the Department Department of Economic Activity says July's jobless rate was 6.2%, the same as it was in January, February, April, and June. This is his quote. There's a lot behind that number. Staying the same doesn't always mean bad things for the labor market. It could be a good thing if people are coming back into the labor force, which is what's happening here, reported by the Florida News Network.
And from ABC News, armed robbers ambushed the motorcade of a Saudi prince in France, stealing a car and a large sum of money, according to a statement from French authorities given to ABC News. The ambush happened at 9 p.m. local time yesterday, while the prince, who has not been named, was traveling in a 3-vehicle motorcade to Paris Le Bourget Airport. The first Mercedes in the motorcade carried a driver, the prince, and 2 bodyguards. The second car contained a driver and 2 Saudi diplomats. The third car contained a driver and 250,000 euros, which is about $330,000 in U.S. money, along with Saudi embassy documents. The gunman attacked only the third car, according to authorities, taking the money, documents, and the driver, who was later released.
The international jurist who was tapped to head the United Nations Human Rights Council inquiry into Israel's conduct during Operation Protective Edge defiantly vowed to follow through on his investigation, even if the Israeli government refuses to cooperate. Professor William Shabbos said, "I might even come to Israel to examine things from up close," and he has come under a torrent of criticism here in Israel for prior statements regarding the need to bring Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu before an international tribunal for war crimes, reported by the Jerusalem Post.
And that's all the time we have for News Bites. Remember, we do this each weekday from 8:35 till 9. It gives you a chance to catch up on the news without spending all day trying to do so. Robin, how many stories today?
23.
All right, hang in there. This is WOCA Ocala. We'll be right back.
News Radio, I'm Pat O'Neill. More looting and vandalism in Ferguson, Missouri overnight. State Patrol Captain Ron Johnson says it wasn't spontaneous.
Premeditated criminal act designed to damage property, hurt people, and provoke a response.
Police also responded, and now Missouri Governor Jay Nixon is calling in the National Guard. Meantime, an independent autopsy also shows that Michael Brown was shot 6 times, in the front and not from close range.
Fox Radio's Jeff Manasso in St. Louis. Brown was killed by a police officer more than a week ago. WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange, wanted for questioning in a sex crimes probe, may head to Sweden soon.
He has even been willing to go to Sweden if he gets an assurance from the Swedish authorities that he will not be extradited forward to the United States.
Kristen Harafson of WikiLeaks. Assange has been holed up in the Ecuadorian embassy in London for 2 years. Emergency aid being delivered to Nepal, where monsoon floods have displaced thousands and killed nearly 200 in recent days. Fox News, we report, you decide.
They say every healthy relationship should have a balance of predictability and spontaneity. In fact, it is that assurance of security that makes the spontaneous possible. Your relationship with your car should be a little like that too. With our new industry-leading unlimited mileage warranty, your certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz instills a sense of confidence. You drive away knowing that you can keep driving for up to 3 years and never have to worry about the miles. Add to that our new complimentary prepaid maintenance on select models, and your certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz becomes the ultimate carefree escape vehicle. Only during